Hello everybody, this is EJK, and in this video I'm going to be analyzing and casting a couple games played on the SC2 AI bot ladder recently between 5-Minute Bot in the bottom right hand corner as the Red Terran and MadBot, the top left blue Protoss player. The first and second games are both played on Parasite, the only difference being the start positions are going to be switched in the second game. Something as simple as the start positions, we will soon see, can make or break a win for a bot player. Taking a look at the builds, both of these bots play fairly macro-oriented builds up to a point. MadBot is going to be doing a 2-base all-in, and 5-Minute Bot is going to be the more macro-oriented player. A mistake we see here is 5-Minute Bot did not efficiently mine out of the refinery, and as a result the Reaper is delayed ever so slightly. That's something that personally bugs me a lot, because that should never ever happen, but I don't think a bot is losing any sleep over that. Another small build order issue that I want to point out is the second assimilator is being made by MadBot before the Nexus. It's generally good practice to make the Nexus before the second assimilator so that you can get the Nexus down as fast as possible. I believe a Nexus benchmark timing for a pro player is before the 2-minute mark, and we see the Nexus going down about a minute later than that benchmark. The point I'm trying to make is that the Nexus is slowed beyond a standard play might expect. Five-Minute Bot has a slight issue here because a supply depot is poorly needed at this time, severely supply blocked, but this SCV that's building the command center is also queued up to build the supply depot. So, I mean, once this command center finishes, the supply depot isn't really needed, unfortunately. A little bit of a small mistake by 5-Minute Bot. The real question is, was that intentional or not? Is that an intentional bug or an unintentional bug? Is that something that you know that needs to be fixed, or you don't know why that's happening? The second category is a lot more terrifying than the first. 5-Minute Bot is also saving up a lot of scan energy, and I'm not entirely sure why. Taking a look at this vision, there hasn't been any suspicious play thus far to be concerned about DTs. Logically, I suppose that because you have not scouted just because you have not scouted DTs does not mean that they do not exist. So 5-Minute Bot may be playing very cautiously. Unfortunately, it's hurting the production cycle of 5-Minute Bot, not being able to utilize this extra income that is very badly needed at this point of the game. So Starport is also being delayed heavily as well. We'll see if that is true for the next game. Between both of the games, we're going to be looking at whether the bots are playing consistently from one game to another, and what the discrepancies are, things that change simply because even though they're playing on the same map, they're in different starting positions. I know in the second game that MadBot, when it starts to push out, there is a forward pylon that usually accompanies this push. Ideally, a Protoss player wants to have a forward pylon and a forward gateway, but a forward pylon is still better than no pylon, which is the case in this case. MadBot grouping up for an attack, coming in just at the same time that 5-minute bot decides to take a third base. Not the best time to take a third base. Not all of the units are coming through. Stim is not completed at this point. So, precipitously, this holding off of the units attacking until Stim is essentially done actually did 5-minute bot a big favor. And as a result, able to really just wipe away this army. A big reason is because Madbot's reinforcements are streaming across the map and being warped in at suboptimal locations. Not able to join the fight immediately, and these reinforcements are going to their death, and that is essentially good game. There's nothing that Madbot can do to come back in this game at this point in time. The all-in has been held. 5-minute bot's third command center is done, and there's nothing really that 5-minute bot needs to worry about. Liberator Harass is going to put the nail in the coffin here. Madbot has no response to this Liberator Harass, and to the bot's eyes, this Liberator is invisible. Meanwhile, these attacks by Madbot are doing less and less damage. The units are just streaming across the map. A better way to use the units that a human could think of would probably be grouping up, trying to attack in different locations, possibly even having the game sense to know that there's a third base or not, judging on where the units are, the path that the units are taking into this third base location, seeing the SCVs coming around right now, seeing units come from the third base location as well. These are all subtle clues that there could be something there that you might not know about as a Protoss player. 46 to 116 supply, this game is essentially over, and it's safe to say that 5-minute bot has taken a decisive lead in this 2-game series that we're going to be taking a look at. Now, how much of this holds up in the second part of this video, we shall see. I'm going to load up the second replay now. And once again, the only difference between these two games, the major difference, I should say, is that they start in different locations. 5-minute bot starts in the opposite location as well as Madbot. This results in some slight deviations in playstyle, which gives Madbot a very big advantage. Once again, the gas is delayed. I think it's a consistent thing, so that tells us that it's more of a programming error than a bug or a glitch, because the Reaper is consistently late, which is pretty annoying. 2 SCVs chasing this one probe. That's not the best use of their time, the SCV's time, but I'm not one to judge. Reaper coming out and scouting. Second gas is down, so delaying that second expansion. It does go down around the 2-minute 40 mark, similarly to last game, consistent play. However, for 5-minute bot, not showing consistent play in putting down the actual command center. Now it's being put down. In the last game, however, the third supply depot was built after the command center, and in fact, the SCV building the command center was supposed to build the third supply depot. Not consistent with this last game. And very interesting, because this now changes the overall structure of the build that 5-minute bot is doing. 5-minute bot's economics and benchmarks is now changed as a result of having a slower command center and a faster depot and less supply block time. Again, the starport is also chronically delayed. Not very great for 5-minute bot here. energy on the command centers is being saved for whatever reason. Consistently, though. Not sure if it's for DTs or not. It'd be interesting to know what the trigger or reason is behind that, or if it's just simply an unintentional consequence of something else. At this time of the game, again, Madbot is consistently pushing out double Immortals, a fair amount of gateway units. A big difference is this forward pylon. No forward gateway, though, but a forward pylon is significantly better than having no pylon at all. Now we see Madbot pushing forward. Stim is not completed yet, so if I were 5-minute bot, I would not want to fight here either. Rather than retreat, though, 5-minute bot kind of stops responding. Oh my god, that's a lot of APM. Not really sure what the APM is doing. None of it is being used to control these units, as we see here. And Stim is now completed, but most of the army is dead from 5-minute bot. SCVs are being pulled from both of the bases, almost an overreaction. It's better to just pull the SCVs from one base and keep SCVs from another base mining. But desperate times call for desperate measures. Unfortunately, 5-minute bot is taking huge losses here, very different from the last game. Primarily because of that hesitation from 5-minute bot to choose to not attack and play very peacefully against the enemy. It was very peculiar movement, and no doubt seems to be a bug of some sort. Not really sure what caused it either. If only we could do interviews and talk to the bots after the game to understand their thought process behind the decisions that they made, but alas, that's not possible. And here we see Madbot is overrunning 5-minute bot. That Liberator consistently in that same position. It was in the same half of the natural position on the other side of the map as well, getting a ton of kills. But too much damage being dealt on the other side of the map by the Protoss player. Two different games, or two same games, played out very differently on the same map, and the only difference was the start position. Very interesting games indeed. At least for the reason of why the decisions were being made. It's kind of a black box, wondering why the bots do some of the things that they do, unless the authors can explicitly explain the reasoning behind the bots' motives. So that brings an end to this game and this video. I want to say thank you for watching, and I'd love to do some more commentaries of different bot games to see exactly what is out there from the bots and what their metagame is, their play styles, and seeing the full extent of all the hard work that all of these bot authors put in to get their bots ready to play on ladder. So if anyone has any interesting games that they think are casting worthy, just send me a message on Discord or ping me or something with the replays, and I'd be more than happy to take a look and do some more stuff like this in the future. Thanks guys for watching, and have a good rest of the day.